everyone. Thank you. Oh, I'm still shaking from the excitement this morning. Some of you may not know it, but I'm a bit of a hockey fan. So I've been up since 4:45 when I heard everybody at the beer shack going, "Rah!" And I'm like, what the heck is happening? I didn't think it started till 5. I still have 15 more minutes. But that was not how this morning went. 5, yeah, it started there. But can everybody hear me in the back okay? Excellent. Good, good. A little louder? Okay. You do need a little louder? A little louder. Excellent. You hear? I know. Okay. Okay. I know. I'm settling. I'm grounding myself. So good morning. I'm Rev Tamara Rossander, and I just want to welcome everybody this morning. And along with our Zoom community, hello everyone there. And I believe we have Liv online today, and as a practitioner, as well as maybe Catherine. And if you're new here, I see a few new faces. Make sure that you are introduced to Sandy, who is at our welcome table, but she's also our board president. And she has a welcome package for you if you're new. So, just thank you everyone for being here today. We definitely appreciate each and every person. And here at CSL White Rock, we hold a vision of a loving, vibrant world that works for all. We're an opening and affirming science of mind community where the vibration of love lifts you and the wisdom of the ages inspires you, and science of mind empowers you. We believe that you are the architect of your life, and it's never too late to know the true happiness. And our teaching is grounded in the science of mind, a spirituality, a philosophy that honors the universal truths found in all faith traditions. So we know that each of us is a unique expression of the divine, and we're here to awaken to that truth, to live from the inside out, to be peace, to be love, and to bring our highest selves forward. So we normally start with our musicians, but I just launched right into it because I'm off this morning, all excited about I'm still shaking from watching everything that went on. So I'd love to introduce 20 Love, Michael and Tianan, to start us off.
These are the gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit, are you ready to receive? Gifts of the Spirit, love, joy, and peace. Gifts of the Spirit,
beautiful. Thank you. Such a lovely voice. Ah. So, as we now step into this next phase, and thank you for starting us off that way and right touching, I know, my heart this morning. So I just want to take a moment now to acknowledge with gratitude that we gather on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territories of the Coast Salish peoples. We honor the original stewards of this land, their ongoing relationship with this place, and the wisdom, resilience, and living cultures that continue here today. May this acknowledgement be more than words. May it shape how we show up with humility, respect, and right relationship. I do want to bring up something this morning, and I know we're here to be uplifted, and yet I think I would be amiss if I did not say anything about this. I was away last week, so I didn't get to say it then, so I want to take a moment to acknowledge what happened on February 10th. And that we take a moment to hold the people of Tumbler Ridge in our hearts. What happened there continues to affect the families, friends, first responders, and the wider community. You know, grief doesn't follow a schedule, and healing takes time. So this morning, I want to ask everybody to take a moment to pause in compassion. So if you're carrying any shock, grief, or tenderness, just know that you're not alone with this today. So let's take a moment of silence now. Remember to breathe, maybe deeply right now. So just wherever you are on this journey, just know it is all welcome. It is all held. So now I get to give Paul the lovely opportunity to share our ways to connect after that moment. Thank you, Paul.
Well, good morning, everyone. I'm Paul Johnson, and it's my joy to serve on the Board of Trustees here at CSL White Rock. Last weekend, I went with some friends of mine for dinner in Vancouver. My chosen route into town is usually along waterfront down. It kind of goes underneath Canada Place there. You know, you get to look at all the cruise ships as they're tied up there to the cruise ship terminal. And I noticed there was this one big, beautiful ship in there. I think it was called the Norwegian Encore or something. And I noticed something interesting. It had, on the stern of the ship, was this huge barcode. I thought that was really weird. I haven't seen that before. And I didn't think much of it. I went and had dinner, went home. But, you know, it was bugging me. And so I consulted Dr. Google, and I learned something. And so I'm passing on this learning. The barcode on the back of the ship, you know what it's for? It's so that they can scan the Navy in. I'll just pause. You can catch up. Scan the Navy in. Are we all on the same page now? Can I continue? Jill says she doesn't want to be on my page. Oh, there are so many opportunities to connect. You know, at a place like CSL White Rock, it's not just about what goes on Sundays. It's really about what happens through the week when we can get together, where we can build lives together, where we can build connections, build relationships. There are all kinds of opportunities for connection. One of those is going to happen right after the service this morning. I'm looking up for the slides. I don't want to get things out of order. I really get in trouble when I get things out of order. There's a Sunday conversation right after our gathering this morning, and we'll gather in the back of the room with Reverend Tamara and Diane and Jill and talk about, what Tamara's going to talk about this morning. And it's a great, those are great times together when it's really wonderful to hear one another's voices and to get perspectives and to hear experiences, and it's awesome, and you really need to join us. Another opportunity is for the 40 Days of Freedom. It's a 40-day reset with Reverend Tamara. I need to put my glasses on because the print on the page is small this morning. Reverend Tamara is hosting a 40-day mind fast called the 40 Days to Freedom. And it's this gentle, intentional practice of releasing thought habits that drain us and choosing something that's kinder and clearer and freer. And the beautiful thing is that you don't have to be caught up in order to participate. It's already started, but you can still be involved. And each day includes a short reflection, a few lines of journaling, and a simple spiritual tool to practice. And so Reverend Tamara is hosting it on this is also hosting a Monday connection circles on Zoom with both morning and evening options, a space to share insights and to support one another on the journey. You can register on our website to receive the daily emails and the Zoom links. And while participation is free, if you would like to purchase the companion ebook, it is available through our website. Morning Sacred Circles, Thursday, February 26th at 10:30 on Zoom. Join practitioners Diane and Jill for our Morning Sacred Circle. It's a space to learn and to practice spiritual principles in community. The circle offers room to share and to listen and to be listened to and to connect, all within a grounded, supportive environment. Thursday, the 26th of February, 10:30 in the morning on Zoom. You'll find the Zoom link on our website. And there are all kinds of ongoing weekly gatherings. Connection isn't just occasional, it's woven into the rhythm, into the fabric of CSL White Rock. And we offer weekly meditation and our Sunday community gatherings as steady touch points. The rhythm that happens throughout the week is in shared spiritual practice. So wherever you are, in person, online, there are ways to stay connected. We have our annual general meeting coming up on Sunday, the 29th of March. And it'll take place right here, directly after the Sunday morning gathering. And as part of the preparation for that, the board has appointed a nominating committee to review and to recommend candidates for election to the Board of Trustees. We've got a couple of positions that are opening this year. We have one for sure, maybe two. If you feel called to serve, or if you'd like to nominate someone to serve, somebody that you believe would be well suited to the role, then we invite you to submit that nomination by the end of February. There are nomination forms like this on the back table. You can see Diane. There's also another document, Board Roles and Expectations. It talks a little bit about what it means to serve on the board, a little bit about what the expectations are going to be. It's just for information. It's available there. In preparation for the annual general meeting, I should just pause for a moment. This is membership month. This is an opportunity for you to say, I'm all in. Membership isn't just a form. It's one of the ways that we say that this community is important to us and that this community matters. And I really want to be involved. I want to be a part of it. And becoming a member allows you to vote in the annual general meeting, to have a say as to direction and how things unfold, and to actively participate in the future of our center. Annual membership is $20 for individuals, $40 for couples, and $50 for families. Those are suggested donations, by the way. And if you're curious about the science of mind or what CSL White Rock is really all about, then we invite you to join us for a membership workshop, which is a warm, practical introduction to our teaching in everyday language. You'll love it. It's coming up I believe that's on the 1st of March, Sunday, the 1st of March here at Brella. All kinds of opportunities. Sunday conversations. Today, talked about it right off the top, Jill. Sorry? Invite Rhonda to talk about her book club. See, wasn't that nicely orchestrated? We pulled that right off, didn't we? Come on, Rhonda, talk about your book club. Bless. Were you ready for this?
Yes.
Oh, good. It's just me that's not on the same page.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rhonda, for those of you who don't know me. And I have been, I guess, leading this book club for the last few months. And we are meeting tomorrow to discuss the February book, which is called Peace in the Wilderness. And yeah, it was, we're going to move on to the next book. So for March, for March, we have Rev Tamara recommended, as well as Oprah recommended book. So I think we're in good hands. Martha Beck's The Way of Integrity. And this book is, it says The Way of Integrity. Beck shows us how having integrity, a word that simply means wholeness, gives us purpose, emotional healing, and a life free from mental suffering. She represents a clear-cut process anyone can use to overcome lifelong patterns like people-pleasing, self-sabotage, destructive habits, and feeling stuck. Inspired by the Divine Comedy, Beck uses Dante's classic hero's journey as a framework. Here she teaches us how to recognize what we actually yearn for rather than what culture sells us. So I've started this book. You can see I've got some tabs in here. There's lots of juicy things. And what I love about it is she says you can just plow through the book and just read it in one sitting, or you can take your time. There are some exercises in here. So I'm just going to read through it, and then I'll probably go back and do some of the exercises. But I think it's a book that will be full of little jewels that we can take with us on our journey. So if you're interested, talk to me afterwards, and I will be, people that are already on my email list will get the email about the, well, first of all, the link for tomorrow night, as well as the information on this book. So yeah, if you are interested, join us. Thanks.
No. Meditation is next. I was going to call you Reverend Diane. Practitioner Diane is going to come and lead us in meditation this morning. Probably. I'm sure you are.
I won't deny that. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. All right. Another opportunity to be quiet. Ready or not. All right. So I invite you here to be comfortable in the chair. And I'm going to read a few words from Paul Ferrini. The connection to our spiritual being, that is right there, through the breath, allowing our breath to go in and out easily. Maybe if your body needs to move to be more comfortable, just allow it to be. Such a precious time here. Precious time. To opening our heart. The greatest miracle you will ever experience does not lie outside of you. It lies within. And that miracle is your very existence. That you exist at all is a testimony to God's love. When you are in touch with God's love for you, everything that happens in your life is miraculous. All you see are extraordinary opportunities to love, to learn, to create, and to be fully, fully present in your life. When you are not in touch with God's love for you, everything that happens in your life seems not to be good enough. You perpetually find fault for yourself, with others, and with your experience. Your relationship to yourself and your Creator determines the quality of your life. When you feel worthy of God's love, you talk to God. You confide in God. And you are grateful for your life. When you feel that you are just a random, purposeless creation, you have no one to talk to. You lead an isolated, aimless life. And you do not know why you are here. Purpose in life comes from the connection to the divine. It comes from the self-affirmation, I matter. There is something here I am meant to do. God has a plan for me. God has a plan for me. Miracle consciousness depends on our ability to feel or intuit the presence of God in our life. And the ability to intuit God's presence depends on our willingness to trust ourselves, to trust others, and to trust our life as it unfolds. Let's just take a moment to reflect on the word trust for ourselves. When I trust, I back up a few steps and I become an observer. I allow life to reveal itself. I welcome the flow of life, the flow of love, the flow of peace in my life. I know that I am not alone. I know that Spirit is guiding me every step that I need to take, every moment of having to let go. Every situation that is overwhelming, I am able to cope with this, to let go and to trust. So this is this moment where we come back in the room here with our heart open, and we leave this building with a deeper willingness to trust. Namaste. And I invite Michael and Tia. Thank you.
So we're gonna do an original for you guys. We just finished writing this one actually quite recently. We haven't recorded it or played it for pretty much anybody actually. So you guys will be the first ones to hear it, if that's okay with you. Yeah, we'll see how it goes.
If I mess it up, don't.
Yeah, it's new. It's new.
Running through life trying to grasp anything that will move. Watching the pairs break off into separate worlds. Hold on to people as life begins to turn. But torn away as they circle and start to choose. Nobody's one, I'm misunderstood. Just wanna be loved. How did I lose? My picture is being drawn. What did I do? Swimming through changes, misled by the lies that were true. Believed I was chosen, but turns out that I was just used. Even the good ones turn you into being a fool. Reading my unfinished manuscript, judged till I'm blue. Nobody's one, I'm misunderstood. Just wanna be loved. How did I lose? My picture is being drawn. What did I do? Nobody's one, I'm misunderstood. Just wanna be loved. How did I lose? My picture is being drawn. What did I do? What did I do? Moving through seasons, I'm thrown into weather that stirs. Hoping that someone will reach out and pull me to shore. So much to give, I would do anything for your world. But one wrong mistake, all at stake, I lose all that I've earned. Nobody's won, I'm misunderstood. Just wanna be loved. How did I lose? Wrong picture is being drawn. What did I do? Nobody's won, I'm misunderstood. Just wanna be loved. How did I lose? Wrong picture is being drawn. What did I do? What did I do? What did I do?
That was absolutely beautiful. The lyrics, fantastic. What did I do? My picture's being drawn. Wow, thank you. That really fits in, I think, with my talk today about living life as a practice. Life is a practice. So I don't know about you, but I've already been excited up here. We've had some give and take here this morning, and I know my nervous system has had a full workout already. And that was even before breakfast. But, you know, and you're thinking about hockey, and it's one of the things the sport reminds us of is in high pressure moments, we do not suddenly become our best intentions. We fall back on what we've practiced. And that is true spiritually as well. So last week, Reverend Terry gave such a rich foundation around mindfulness and spiritual practice, especially the powerful idea that life is a practice. He mentioned Pema Chodron had quoted that. So I want to build on that today and take it to the edge. What happens when practice meets pain, fatigue, conflict, and real life? Because the edge isn't a punishment. It's not proof that we're failing. It's not a wall. The edge is a doorway. It is the threshold where awareness meets choice. It's a place where spiritual teaching stops being the nice idea and starts becoming our lived experience. And I want to say right at the beginning, because I think some of us, I know, and when I say that some of us may need to hear it, it's always because I need to hear it. But sometimes the moment when I'm finally tired of the same patterns, tired of the same reaction, tired of that same internal fight or the same old story that keeps running my life, that moment when I'm tired isn't a failure. That moment is the doorway, and that could be the threshold to my own freedom. So a lot of us were trained to criticize ourselves for being tired. Did it ever? Right? I know I was criticized younger, but you should be over this by now. And you know, some of these criticisms I think are actually my own inner voice when I shouldn't still be dealing this. Why do I keep reacting this way? Why do I keep attracting this kind of person into my life, or this dynamic, or this kind of stress? So we take the original hurt, the original frustration, and then we pile on self-judgment. Well, I won't say we, I know I do. I'll talk about myself today because I'm hoping all of you don't do any of the things that I sometimes do. But when I pile on that self-judgment, that doesn't create healing for myself. It doesn't create freedom. It just creates that monkey mind chatter for myself. And what if this tiredness actually is a sacred feedback? What if being tired of the same old things means I'm finally ready to stop rehearsing that story? I'm ready to stop negotiating with what drains me, to stop pretending that I'm hurt, not hurt, and to stop romanticizing what is not working. To stop calling the old story just my personality. In Science of Mind, we teach we're always using our mind. And sometimes we use it consciously, which is awesome, and sometimes, guess what? We use it unconsciously as well. But we're always participating, always impressing our thought, our belief, and feeling into the law. So when a pattern repeats, it doesn't have to mean that I'm broken. I can actually let it mean something is moving from my unconscious to my conscious. I'm being aware. Something is surfacing in me. Something is asking me to be met with honesty. And that is not self-blame. That's when I start to grow up in my spirituality. Now, this is where Reverend Terry's talk was such a gift for me today, is he reminded us that mindfulness isn't about noticing the thought before we get run by the feeling. Because if we can notice the thought, I have a chance. I can notice the thought, I can pause. And if I can notice the thought, I don't have to let the feeling become my whole identity for the day. Right? And that has happened sometimes for me. I noticed yesterday, my husband and I had our Saturday morning chat. And, he said something, and I was like, oh. So then I did my usual, step back, just let it percolate for a while, and took myself out of the conversation. But then we were driving for dinner last night, and I finally said, okay, it's been 8 hours. I can't hold it in any longer. So I talked to him about what was going on, but there was that whole 8 hours that I was stewing in it. I'm like, what the heck? Why didn't I just, at the moment when I was activated and when I was having that feeling of not being heard, not being listened to, why didn't I say, that just hurt my feelings, or can we just stop for a sec and breathe? That would have been a little bit healthier moment, but yet it gave me that opportunity. It gave me an opportunity to see, okay, there's still a little bit of work here every once in a while to do. It's not about becoming perfect or untriggerable, that I won't ever get triggered, and that I'm not some glowing spiritual robot. I just have to practice, start telling the truth. And it's when I start practicing this teaching, and that is the piece of it. There's good news and bad news with this teaching, because the deeper I go into the science of mind, guess what? The less I can hide my old basic story, right? That BS story. But this teaching also is very compassionate. It's not punitive. It's not harsh. It's not shaming me. It's interested in helping me revise my story, revise that I'm done to, so hard for story. So it says, I can say, yes, that hurt, I was angry, or I'm grieving, I feel exhausted. I can tell the truth. And the teaching asks then the next question. So now how, beloved, what are you going to practice? What are you going to practice today? So that's what consciousness is about, that awareness, and asking myself, where can I practice? And then Reverend Terry also encouraged us to cultivate our consciousness. And he pointed out in Dr. Holmes, it's so important to remember that responsibility is not about blame. It's not about blame. It's about our ability to respond. And I think actually I misquoted that. That wasn't from Holmes. That's from context training that he did. But it's true that that responsibility is not about blame, but it's just our ability to respond to what is happening in front of us. So there's no blame, no denial, no spiritual bypassing. My ability to respond is what helps me in that moment. With my husband, I wasn't able to respond in the way I wanted to. It took me several hours, but I got there, thank goodness. Right? And that's the piece. I've got to just become available to my response. And that's where my freedom lives. You know, we always say here in this teaching that I'm spirit having a human experience. And if we really take that in, that's where shifts can happen. If I'm spirit having a human experience, then guess what? I'll have those human moments. I'll have that upset, or I'll get tired or activated. And sometimes I'll even have a little bit of a messy relationship, right? But that's where I can step into the conversation and I can shift things around. Because the deeper truth is that I know I am, and I know each of you are, an expression of spirit. And if I begin to live from that identity, then kindness, compassion, and love just start to become more and more natural. And it's not always easy, and it's not always natural, but the longer, not but, and the more I practice, the more that it comes easy and natural. So that's, to me, what life is practice means. It doesn't mean that life is a performance or that I'm pretending. It's not how do I look spiritual while I'm staying the same. Life is a practice. It's daily, it's relational, it's humble, it's honest, and it's available to each of us at any moment. So I came up with this idea of this framework that I want to work with this week. And so what it is when I'm not feeling so equipped, I can, which happens, I can stop, I can notice, I can pause, I can pray, then I can pivot, and then I can act. So I can notice, pause, pray, pivot, and act. So when I notice, I can ask myself some questions. What am I feeling? What old story is running? Maybe there's a belief that's being activated in me. And then not taking out the old 2x4 with that answer, just noticing it, and then pause. And this I'm going to tie back to what Reverend Terry said last week. He gave us that sometimes the holiest thing you can do is not react right away. Sometimes you pause. Sometimes you even give it 24 hours. And pause isn't being passive. The pause is our power, because that is where we can shift and make a change. Pause creates space between the trigger or the activity and the action. It lets me speak, come back to myself before I speak from that wounded place. And then I get to pray. And then I move into principle. I get to return to presence, to truth. And sometimes I don't necessarily always have to do a full spiritual mind treatment. Sometimes just doing the first 2 steps. And if you're new to Science of Mind, we do spiritual mind treatment. That is our form of affirmative prayer, and it has 5 steps. And the first step is always recognizing that there is only one life, one love, one universal divine mind. And the second step is when I relate to that as myself, because I am spirit having this human experience. Spirit is always here, and it allows me to choose again in a deeper way. Prayer can set me back into what is true, even while I'm humanly uncomfortable. And then I can pivot. I can stop pretending that everything's fine when it's not. I can consciously shift an interpretation and response. And it can sound like I feel hurt, but I choose not to attack. I'm angry, but I can still be clear without being unkind. Or I can set a boundary without abandoning my groundedness, my center. And then we can move into action. This is sometimes the part that's easy to skip. We love insight, we love journaling, we love nodding in agreement, but eventually the practice has to become visible. And I think I've talked about it before, where we in Science of Mind, we have a saying, we say, treat and move your feet. So this is the part of moving your feet. And Howard Thurman reminds us in his own way that our inner insights are not meant to stay hidden. They're meant to be lived indeed. So the real question is not only, what do I believe? The question is, what am I practicing? Maybe it's in my timing, in my words, in my relationships, and in my choices. So that's where that edge becomes the doorway, because the doorway can open and we can always choose a different path. So the other thing that Reverend Terry talked about that I think is really important to bring in is that we talk about the difference between expectation and expectancy. And that's our teaching. Expectation says it has to go this way, this person has to respond this way, the outcome has to look like this. And when it doesn't, I don't know about you, but I kind of get a little edgy. I can get a little upset. But when I lean into expectancy, I don't need to control. And I do like to control things. I want to know what's happening. I know some of my board is laughing up here. But I don't need to control every detail. I can always just lean into the expectancy that good is happening. So if I practice from expectancy, then it's opening, not rigid expectation. Because if I go to the edge with expectation, I can panic. But if I go to the edge with expectancy, I can lean into what Diane talked about in her meditation. I can lean into trust and faith. I was going to talk about a story. As you know, I listened to Reverend Terry's talk, and then him and I talked about it, and I was curious about how could I follow up with this. And when I was listening to it and talking to him, he was telling me about the story he had with his brother. And if you were here last week, he talked about how they had a bit of a conflict, but then Reverend Terry, he stopped and he paused and he sat with it, and then he responded with an honest apology. And I going to share the next step of the story with permission. I asked, I said, are you sure you want me to share this? He said, no, this is a great example about living. Life is a practice. Because what happened after that is that his brother ended up in the hospital. And then, but there was a couple other exchanges that ended up in a very harsh conversation from the brother saying, blankety blank, don't talk to me again. And so Terry said, okay. Then the other brother called and he said, actually he's in the hospital right now. And Terry said, well, did he ask you to call me? And he said, no, he didn't. So then in those moments, he stuck in and went, okay, then I'm not going to see him. If he asked for me, I'll go. But if he didn't, I'm not. So then a few hours later, his knee got really sore. It blew up. He couldn't walk. And he was like, what the heck is going on? So he looked it up. We have a big book as a practitioner about all the metaphysical meanings of kind of ailments that we have for our body. And of course, what was the interpretation of the knee? It was about compassion and empathy and moving forward. So then he's like, oh my gosh. So he then started to move into that prayer. He moved into that place of being paused in prayer. And he decided that love was more important. He decided that compassion and empathy were more important than him being right. So he did the work, he moved through, and guess what happened? His knee settled down, the pain went away, and he was able to move around again. And it happened like that, right? Not everything always is going to happen that way, but it does allow us that knowing that it can happen that quickly, and not to beat ourselves up if it doesn't happen that quickly. As even Ernest Holmes says, we keep praying until we get the demonstration. So we keep moving through it. We shift our consciousness. So it was so good to hear that his knee was better the next day. So sometimes a shift in consciousness opens that doorway so quickly that change can feel immediate, and yet there is a power of being honest enough for each of us to say in that moment that there's another layer for me. So that is still to be determined. I was asked if he went to see his brother yet, and this just all happened, I think, on Friday, so I haven't talked to him since then, so I don't know. But he used first the pause, then he used the apology, then there was the deeper edge, and then he had that next invitation and that next layer of compassion. And that's really spirituality. And not one breakthrough done or then it was over. It was the practice. So, oh my goodness, I have way too much information for you guys today. It's a lot in there. Well, I'm just seeing, what else do I really want to share with you? I think what I want to share with you this week about living in practice, because we've talked about spiritual practice, the 5 place, but maybe this week let's practice and maybe even do an experiment this week with this teaching. Let's test the teaching so it doesn't just stay theory. So for the next week, why don't you, if someone activates you, rather than asking, why is this happening to me? Maybe ask, what is showing up for me now? What is an old story that's running right now? And then use the framework, notice, pause, pray, pivot, then ask. And then I encourage you to take one small, brave step. Maybe ask for forgiveness if that needs to be done. Speak honestly. Maybe it's setting a boundary. Maybe it's choosing kindness where we maybe can be sarcastic. Or maybe it's releasing one grievance. Or maybe it's, this is the one I'm working on. It's stop rehearsing one tired old story. So when I'm tired enough to stop repeating myself, enough to practice something new, that's when it's going to shift. And that's why I love this 40 days of freedom that I'm doing right now, because it allows me every day to take an insight and shift. It's a willingness to notice what is the story that's running through me, and then tell the truth about it, pray about it, release it, and guess what? I get to choose again. And that's what I love about our spiritual community. That's what we're doing together. We're not performing spirituality, we're practicing it. So let me leave you with this. Life is not trying to punish you. Life is inviting you to practice. The edge is not where your faith ends. The edge is where your faith becomes visible. If you're tired of the same old patterns, that same old inner fight, just stop and don't criticize yourself. You may be standing at that holy threshold. And remember this today, you are spirit having a human experience. So yes, there may be some messy moments, but at the end of the day, you get to choose. You get to begin again. You get to practice. You get to pause. You get to pray. You get to choose. And most importantly, you get to cultivate your relationship with the divine, because every moment is just before something happens. And in that moment, you're not powerless. You are in practice. So let us turn inwards and anchor this with prayer so it's not. Let's practice together. As I take this breath in, and knowing that there is one life, one presence, one intelligence, one love expressing as all of life and as each one of us. So today I know that each one of us are one with that divine wisdom, the divine love, the divine power that is always emanating in, through, and as each one of us. I know for myself and for every person hearing these words that we are not trapped in our old stories. We're not always condemned to repeat those same stories. A deeper wisdom is awakening in each of us. A gentle honesty is rising up. We release self-judgment, the need to perform, and we release the habit of rehearsing pain as an identity. We accept truth, that life is a practice. Spirit is with us in every step of that practice. So I affirm right now that each one of us is guided onto that next step. And it is that next step of love and joy and choice. It is always there for us. So I give thanks for any immediate shifts in our consciousness. I give thanks to the healing that unfolds in undefined ways, to that new possibility. I give thanks to the law that responds to this word. And I release it, I let it go to that creative law, knowing it is already done. And I ask you to join me in saying, and so it is. Thank you. And Michael and Tiana back. I didn't realize how long my talk was. I had another 10
So
minutes.
we're going to do another original for you guys. For those of you who don't know, Michael and I met in school for recording arts. And so for our senior project, we made 2 demo EPs. We recorded them and we put them out just for fun. And so one of the songs we're going to sing is from one of those EPs. When we started writing it, we didn't really like it that much. We were kind of stuck on writing it and we didn't really know what we were doing. And then once we finished it, it happened to be one of our favorites, and I would say probably one of our fan favorites. All of our families like this one and all of our friends. So I think it turned out to be one of the best ones, actually. So yeah. He's just getting tuned up, so we're just gonna yeah, it's a weird tuning song. Good.
Twisted game, you play with your guard let down. Laws of fate control every move each round, but there's no wrong way. Your tug of war darkest frozen days you thought away. You said the waters look rocky, but I wouldn't abandon ship if you told me. 'Cause I know your tug of war with anger and vain, my quicksand, sinking heavy weight, rain, fire, body pain. With you I feel no pain. Dry skies, it's clear and I feel the warmth seeping in. The fire's dim and the rage within is fading. The smoke disappears, and your arms are the refuge from my fears.
I lost my sheet. Oh dear. Order of service, here we are. So now this is the time where we practice. We step into that law of circulation, into that place of gratitude. And we recognize that this time is actual spiritual act. It's an affirmation of the abundance that is in the world. And we trust in the infinite flow of life. So if you feel moved today, I ask you to gently hold your gift that you're willing to give today to your heart. And whether it's your time, treasure, or talent, just know that it is all welcome here. And now as you hold this gift to your heart, silently bless it, knowing that it returns to you multiplied as peace, as joy, and as abundant good. And if you're willing, I ask you to repeat after me our gratitude affirmation. With a grateful heart, I share my good with this beloved community. As I give, love and abundance circulate through my life and through our center as we thrive together. I am blessed and I am blessing. And so it is. Yay. Yay. What a day today. And I invite Michael and Tiana to do another song for us.
As we tune back. Okay. Thank you. Ready?
I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God. I'm thankful. so grateful. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. I surrender, I surrender. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I surrender, I surrender. I trust in God. I'm thankful, so grateful. I'm one in the spirit all around me. I'm thankful, so grateful. I trust in God.
Thank you, thank you. And I forgot to mention, in our baskets, we always have these what are little called joy blessings. And so we we participate in the law of circulation as well. And Jill, you're coming up. I'm inviting our practitioners up, and I think today we just have Jill and Diane with us. So if you didn't get one, I'll share one with you, and I'll share one for our online people. It is mine that I picked is the present moment is filled with joy and happiness. If you are attentive, you will see it. That's from Thich Nhat Hanh. So thank you. Very good. So let's just take a moment to bless these gifts and bless all the givers and the receivers and bless this wonderful community. I know that these gifts make a difference not only in our community and the lives that are touched, but hearts are opened and a vision for a world that works for all is guaranteed. I thank you, thank you, thank you, and I let it be, I let it go, and ask you to join me in saying, and so it is. So if you're new here, you'll meet Diane and Jill, are two of our spiritual practitioners here, and they are going to be leading our after conversation as well. But in the meantime, while everybody else is grabbing a cup of coffee, if you would like to experience a spiritual mind treatment, you can grab actually any one of the three of us here, and we'll be honored to do this for you. And if today it could be a little bit hectic this afternoon, I don't know, it's afternoon, it's still morning. There is a prayer box in the back, and you can also go online and request a prayer under our prayer support page. So there's all sorts of way to get support in any times if you're going through something that's hard, but maybe sometimes you just need something to lift you up a little bit more. So with that, I ask everybody to stand and say our closing affirmation. All right. Something wonderful is happening in me right now. Something wonderful is happening in me right now. It's this thing called life. It's this thing called love. It's this thing called practice. I know it. I feel it. I express it. I am it. And so it is. It is. And stay singing for our final song. Thank you.
Ready?
I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
more time. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Michael and Tianan, and we can find you on Spotify, right?
Yes,
And you
all
can
of our
listen to
stuff.
some of support their music, and it's so great that they're here with us today. Thank you for all your beautiful words today. So have a fabulous day. Stay for us for coffee and chat, and I look forward to Sunday conversations. Thanks. Have a wonderful day. Thanks, everybody on Zoom. Also, if you want to do prayer on Zoom, I think you can talk to one of our practitioners. I believe we have Liv online. Is it Liv and Catherine? So you can ask for prayer if you send them a message. Have a wonderful day.
Hey, Severin, you did great.
This? Thank you. Well,
Strife means like hard. Take her back in. No, I still need it.
Harmony's going, yeah.
Okay, make sure you don't mix up my time. Yeah, I'm running it just in case my thing worked. We didn't know if it was going to work today. When you pick up in my guitar, we didn't know if it was going to work. We just installed it.
No, silent growth. From my client, who's a friend of mine, actually. I'm going to put it in this other one with the heavy items. It was, you know what? Here, I want to be really clear about something. This was better for me. Given a choice of the two things, this was the win. Okay? So, just,
I always appreciate when you take and help, you know what I mean? Like when you come and, you know, for this example, like, you know, you came and helped and you know, you don't have to. Like, but, you know, I always appreciate it. And you did a good job.
The battery's low, so I'm gonna.
Oh, here.
It's not low, but
but it's low enough.
it's like half. So, but
And that battery dies. So
they want to use it, so I'm just gonna leave that connected for now. They're having a thing. They're doing a thing. I'm gonna put this in here, okay? Do you see how I'm setting this up? Oh, actually, I need a little bit more foam. Prevent stuff from knocking around. I haven't found another case for this yet. I'm gonna double check the measurements.
just that way. It's a little bit short.
Just a little too.
It's not much.
You know, I could just remove those end panels.
I think it might expose the electronics. And then we can jam our fingers in there.
You're not laughing at my joke?
I thought you were too.